Not even the coronavirus pandemic could put a stop to marking the anniversary of the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran. As much as this is a day about history, there's also a sense that the country could be on the precipice of a diplomatic breakthrough with its once sworn enemy, the United States. In recent years, ordinary citizens have grappled with the economic fallout of sanctions imposed on Iran after the Trump administration abandoned the 2015 nuclear deal. But there is new US leadership now, and that's brought a sense of cautious optimism to the surface.
If the sanctions are lifted, well, the lives of the people will be easier and our progress will increase. But these sanctions have also, in a way, made us stand on our own 2 feet, and in a way, sever our dependence on other countries.
If the US continues on the same path it's taking now, we'll be like two parallel lines, and we will have no conclusion, and a relationship with the US is not feasible. But if the US stops its conceitedness, there is hope to have relations with them.
Now comes the waiting game as Iran calls on the US to make the first move and return to the agreement.
ما آماده‌ایم هر روزی که آمریکا به تعهدات کامل خود در برجام برگرده، ما هم همه تعهدات برجامی خود را اجرا کنیم و عمل کنیم.
But before that happens, there are some major hurdles for both sides to cross, because Iran has carried out actions that were banned under the 2015 nuclear accords. An International Atomic Energy Agency report says Iran has produced uranium metal, a material that could be used to make the core of an atomic weapon. It's also resumed enriching uranium to 20%. That's a short technical step away from weapons-grade enrichment levels. The Iranians started breaking parts of the deal after the US abandoned it in 2018 and reinstituted sanctions. Tehran says it will reverse the violations when the US returns to the original agreement. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, known as the JCPOA, was signed in 2015. It was a deal between Iran and the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council plus Germany. Under the agreement, Tehran promised to scale back its uranium enrichment and allowed the international nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, to inspect its facilities. In exchange, sanctions were lifted, allowing Iran to resume trading oil and gas on the international market. It was seen as a win for world peace. But the agreement did not address Iran's ballistic missile tests or its role in regional conflicts. This is also the tale of 3 presidents. The JCPOA was a defining feature of Barack Obama's presidency. Donald Trump campaigned on tearing it up, and when he took office, withdrew the US from the deal. How Joe Biden manages the next phase of the deal could well become a defining foreign policy of his administration.
Will the U.S. lift sanctions first in order to get Iran back to the negotiating table?
No.
They have to stop enriching uranium first.
While Biden's team has indicated the US will return to the deal if Iran returns to full compliance, they view it as just the first step to securing a broader arrangement.
We will seek to lengthen and strengthen its provisions, including vis-a-vis the nuclear provisions, using it as a platform to then negotiate follow-on agreements that would address Iran's other malign activity.
Tehran is insisting that this is about restoring the 2015 deal, which the US broke, not adding amendments. It says the window to do that is fast disappearing.
Soon, my government will be compelled to take further remedial action in response to the American and European dismal failure to live up to their commitment under the nuclear deal.
The Iranian parliament has set a February 21 deadline for the US to lift sanctions. Otherwise, the government will block IAEA inspections at nuclear sites and increase uranium enrichment. Iran is also headed for a presidential election in June. Rouhani has reached his term limit and a new president will take office. While neither side has taken their seat at the renegotiating table, the clock has already started counting down. Natalie Pohonen, The Newsmakers.